He's just ready. He's ready to go.
I don't know. Your timing is good for recording. So we should talk about a little about the ceremony yesterday. I don't really know what to say. Okay, so we did a ceremony on top of the lighthouse hill, which we recorded, and I'll send you that video so you can see where we were. The wind was astronomical. It was like almost blowing us off the hill.
Wow.
And we did a ceremony which was we were told it was for Western Europe, so it was like Sanat, Kumara, and just all the angelic realm. And they were doing something, and it was like putting blue goo all across Europe. So as I understand it, the Time Lords were involved and the Christ, like it was pretty full on. They had instructions for her. She started channeling during it. And what it was about was closing out all the old timelines. So everything to do with, I get the words like the world of men. Now, if I try and change it from men into humans, then what they have me say is it's closing out human endeavor as it was. So all the timelines from the Ice Age, the Younger Dryas till now, they're closing all those out for Western Europe. Like they don't, that time no longer exists holographically. And that was the ceremony yesterday, so it was a big deal.
Big deal, yeah.
And then we had to stay there for 1 hour. I'm not complaining, guys. I'm just we had to stay there, and it was so windy. Like we sat in this like shed thing, sort of. It had windows, but without glass, obviously, right? It was just like a ruin, just walls left. And we sat there like on a stone, and it was every time you got up, the wind through the window like nearly blew you over. So we were sitting down there, and we had to stay 1 hour in that spot. So we were together to keep us warm, and
And it rained.
Yeah.
Rained a bit, but the sun came out. It was just a bit of rain. They were nice. I was like, what? It's raining now? Come on.
Of course, the rain was like golden rain with source codes, you know. Like, there was a particular thing that they were dousing people in.
Yeah, so it was really interesting.
So I don't know what to say about that, but it was just to be shared because it was a big deal for me, for my lifetime, because like that feels like that's my purpose, is I'm here to close out those timelines of men or humankind as it was, and now we bring in divinity.
Wow.
Yeah.
And that's the school purpose, I imagine. And Aaron, so I'm sensing Aaron today, like I'm looking at through the window of Darinka's not participating on the calls, and how do I look at this? Like, well, I think you were saying, Greg, like it's about the group, or I was thinking like the number of us, like there's 4 of us, we're quite a closed group. How do we expand? Like who else is doing this? And I could see like there was a colored dot somewhere else, and there's a colored dot which is us, and I can only see 2 lines joining us, and they're the only 2 groups I can see at this level. So I'm assuming one's Aaron and Anessa.
Yeah, I get that.
That would make sense. Huh?
Yeah.
I was thinking, we know a couple, but they're not ready to this level. In Georgia, that would be Julia and
Monk.
and Murray. Yeah. But they, just not.
We know another couple as well, yeah.
Yeah, you know a couple.
We're talking to them about the cult.
Yeah,
But,
that's good.
Yeah.
So we just have to do what we do at this level, and it's unfortunate that's the only words that they give us. And then we do what we do, and we will come together in time.
Yeah.
And in the meantime, we just have to learn and practice and speak light language and do healing with each other.
Yeah, I have a lot coming up. So like you guys the other day, and now I seem to be having a lot. So we kind of go back and forth, it seems. Like maybe you guys get hit, and then I'm being hit today. it seems
Aw.
like somewhat. It's not real bad, but yeah, there's a lot. So
Yeah, it's a lot going on, that's for sure. Yeah, yeah. And it goes pretty fast.
yeah.
Yeah, we've actually like been to the community yesterday. Like there was a farewell for someone who goes traveling now, and we met some people we know, some we met like that were new to us, and so we were chatting to them. And I mean, normally we stay pretty much to ourselves, but we went out and saw them and had like chats with others, and it was really interesting how many people are actually like react with wow when we tell them about the walks. Oh yeah, that's great. Or you should put that in the chat. Like there's a community WhatsApp chat. So you should put that in there. So, and yeah, oh, that's so great. And yeah, really interesting one. You talked to her about she was sensing the change, right? And she's here with her son right now, and because he lives here, I think, and she's just visiting. She lives in Norway, I think, but she's from Iran. And like, so there's lots of people that like fall into our lives like just like that, like and yeah
Mhm.
so we're actually having another walk next weekend. And
Yeah.
so wow, it's amazing.
Yeah.
So I was getting, are you like recording some of those walks like someone else recorded, but that's something that might be done as we move forward. I don't know.
Well, there's other people involved.
Well, I get that. Yeah, and they have to be okay with being recorded, all that stuff. So yeah, same issue.
Yeah,
it's
yeah,
YouTube.
something to think about. Why not? Yeah, sure, because it's definitely part of the school, as it's educational, right? I mean, we're talking about the stones and everything, and it's healing. Of course, it's healing for the people who take part. It's healing for the land. It's so it's definitely part of the whole thing. So yeah, we could think about that.
Yeah,
See.
there's a lot to do, but there's whatever level you do every day, and just doing that.
Okay.
I think doing the work is most important. And then recording, as we just talk about it, record it. Yeah, it's very good. Channel and
Yeah.
nice, very nice.
This is hard for me still. Still.
You say still.
I love myself. I'm starting to channel, and I'm leaving my eyes closed so that I can keep speaking, because I'm so shy to speak the words, because I'm like, you guys know it all better, and if I say something, it might be wrong.
No.
So I don't have many words. I had a few words when I was in bed before meditating. I had a few words, and I was like, oh my God, I gotta record. I gotta tell David. I gotta write them down. And I was like, nah. So and then I was told, no, don't worry about it. There'll be more coming. And so I don't have like I don't have any meaning yet, and like it's definitely Astraea, but I don't get meanings yet. That's David translates for me, and so I just have Hubluklon.
Look up.
Yeah, that's what I always say.
It could be the birds or the angels or some messenger of divine importance. Could be Sanat Kumara just coming down. Might be Aaron. Could be anybody. Look up. Hubluklon.
Ishna.
Go to the sky. I mean, there are several meanings for each of the phrases, so it's not direct like English. Hubluklon is upstairs somewhere.
Ishna Manake.
In my heart, I feel you, brother, sister, wife of mine. my heart does extend to you.
Okay, that's it for now.
That's a good word.
Thanks. Oh my God.
And they feel good. They feel good when you, yeah.
Nice. Very good.
So yeah, this is all very exciting for me.
Mm.
So we can spell out the meaning of words. This is very curious.
Mhm.
And that gives people time to grasp and to come to terms with the language means something in English or Welsh or Irish.
Mm.
Start to interpret those words in our own heads, because then that does something with us.
Mhm.
Yeah. Yeah. And I'm not quite there with my channeling. Yeah.
Not yet.
Where? What do you mean?
Just the words come and I don't interpret that
Interpret,
much.
yeah,
I just
can't
feel.
interpret.
Yeah.
Yeah, but there you go. I don't either.
Yeah. Right.
He,
It's
he
fine.
knows it all.
That, it's like,
We had this conversation earlier
Yeah, he-
about the dinner next week.
Yeah, he doesn't know it all.
About, he knows very little. That was what I was telling her.
That's what he was telling me.
Don't seek my agreement. Like anybody listening, don't listen to this one. Like trust
Yeah.
yourself.
Yeah.
I just know how to light channel. It's like that's about it, everybody. Keep it to yourself, anything else.
Yeah, I don't know what I'm doing. I just follow and connect and
Mhm.
then remember. Like we're kind of remembering and building our language, our abilities.
Mhm.
It's, we're still training. We just know some stuff and we're on board. We're doing kind of like a divine union, kind of getting together and following each other as divine mirrors that can reflect back to ourselves like, oh, okay, I
Mhm.
get that. Like your channeling is great.
Mhm.
It's perfect.
Thanks.
Would you?
Yay.
Yay. Yeah.
No man.
Your non-human would not want to. I interpret a bit more. So no manake is obviously non-human. So your non-human's not really interested in channeling today.
Well, that's interesting what you made of it. I said no in English, and then I said manake.
Oh. So no man.
so
Wow.
Mhm.
So I took it as like the Atlantean, which is no manake, which is non-human.
Ah.
But I thought that's maybe that's
Absolutely.
actually
So be
that's-
very careful combining Atlantean and English or other light languages, human languages.
Mhm.
But that was a good interpretation.
Yeah, I still get the sense of it.
So
So,
it's
the light has a meaning embedded which you can sense.
so it's okay. I mean, my head wanted it different, but my human head, but that was a good, like, it makes sense because there's nothing much. I would tell you now if there was more coming, like, but there's not. I could just start over again.
Or Greg could, or
Yeah.
Sharon could open her mouth and surprise us all and herself
Sure.
at any moment.
Yeah, you can
Mhm.
if you want to.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Mhm.
I mean, I have some channeling, but I don't know if you guys want me to go or if there's more of this that we're talking about.
You go ahead.
I mean, like, me, I just get out of the way and just let it flow and then you just feel, but still the interpretation is maybe a little bit. I kind of keep getting in my head that the stuff I'm doing it'll take a while for people to kind of get that interpretation, meaning a direct interpretation like we're getting. It'd be more just the feeling interpretation that we get, except for maybe David, who kind of gets more, but and kind of tell us more.
But
If
I
you're
like
at
that.
a-
Sorry. I like that very much about your channeling, that it has this felt interpretation, which is very personal for everyone. That's very beautiful. And if we would start to interpret and or translate every one of that, we would actually take that away. Like we would make it smaller. So it's good that you have that, like that it's like that. I think it's very very precious.
And I don't know. Yeah, that's fine. I just do and I follow, and that's all. Yeah. So I'm just getting, they keep kind of showing me in the future, people will interpret it more and they'll understand it more as we get higher, and there'll be more people dealing and understanding it. So I go, okay, well, it's more for future, but for us now, it's also for us. Okay. Yeah. So here we go. Ian oke anmanya hanto oke din dehama kuman in akanonde dakomo kinan ope anote shinkan ome din an unkehan konde akbakain sum ina atando kenamo akan dekomayano Dishkan boke athan, shen omakan uyate, hin omete ban komasa, shoma ina, itan guke sumai, deskam anoma, tin omake si, shinom anom bakan seno, ba etiskamo, Shome ano dengama ato. Yante pokan dian yasumo. Ikando hombakael. Gian ko mate iskan usya. Beno itan iemon. Kikan kome as bakayan.
Yay.
Okay.
Wow.
So I had a similar picture before, where I was like, it's like it's this spiral up, but it's like my body is sort of cocooned in there, and this time it was like I'm being cocooned together with Astraea in this, and David is also cocooned together with Astraea, and then we got like cocooned again together, all the three, four of us, and then you guys came also, like, so we were all being and always like spiraling up in these cocoons, which are a bit like color wise, they're sort of green with golden white light spiral up or something like that. And then we all went up and up and
felt it. I felt it. I got a little bit dizzy. I felt a lifting up, and I felt my body here, but a lifting up, and I got a little dizzy, nauseous kind of.
Yeah.
And then we ended up in a cloud of light, sort of. Our human body and all the cocoons and all that was all gone. So we were just this, like, I mean, yeah, there would have been more. Idania would have been there as well, like all the ones that we are connected. So we ended up in this cloud, and then we ate cake.
Cake.
And we drank tea, and we enjoyed life. So I saw us back because then I was like, yeah, so are we still like our human existence? Yeah, our human existence was all beach, like we were visiting a Danya in the Dominican or something, like and sitting on the beach and having our cocktail or something like that.
Yeah.
So we're just going up and enjoying life. That was like that.
Yeah.
So and eating cake, right?
Okay. Gotta have cake.
So I have some words, I think, to add to that. So I heard it's like it's about building the new school. So I kind of came, so I just saw so much light within your heart. I had to focus on your heart and open a key to the higher reunification code. So that could all come out of here. And then I'm back over here, open the same heart, and it's all up through the school. Like the school's path is up to divine light. So there's like this Astraea whiplash of like energy going round, 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 round. We're all going, whoa! We're going up to the light, right? And that seems to be what's happening.
Yeah.
So yeah.
So I felt pretty happy.
Me too. I had to laugh when we had cake.
Yeah.
That was like the God's living room. Like I see that.
Did you get
I got the sun.
No,
Yeah, it was definitely
in like an elevator.
loud thing, everything light.
Do you feel anything?
I was just getting, it was getting harder for me to say the words because of the lightness of my body to make the sound. And so it was, I could just feel myself going up, and
wow.
Yeah, it just seemed a little bit more like I had to stretch myself to say those words at the end in that channel or that. So they're stretching me as well, but I'm not feeling it exactly like you guys are. I'm more just in it and saying it, and then I'm experiencing it, but I think I get some of it later, more of the reaction to it, because I guess they're just keeping me in this space so I can do it and not experience it too much. Otherwise, I think I just may not be able to.
Get distracted.
You get distracted.
Yeah.
So I
But
guess
you can still see and sense what's going on.
in a way, I don't get all that you guys were getting. I just get that, okay, we're moving here, and I just go, okay, don't know what that is. I just trust that it's something, but I didn't get, like, I don't even really get, I was asking, was this channeled by Astraea? Was this Sanat Kumara? I'm not really even sure. It just comes. I just get out of the way. So
I think it was us.
I don't know.
We should ask. Who's asking?
Who was channeling? I mean, who was speaking?
Yeah, and what do you guys get out of that too? I think it's kind of because like I said, sometimes they just don't, not that they don't want me to know, but they just want me to stay in the channel, just channel is what I get. Just keep going. All the details, that'll be worked out later. But if you get an interpretation, that's what I'm getting.
I get that when I channel, it's not to step out of it or ask too many questions.
Yeah.
Right. Because then it just
makes some English words, but don't really bother to try and interpret anything that you have to make an effort to interpret.
Right.
Because
so
otherwise it just takes over and then you can't really channel. So they don't want you to be self-conscious or think about yourself too much.
Exactly. So
I think, I don't know who it was.
You don't know who it was?
I do like to check just to see who's talking, because I never used to do that. Since we've begun this channel, I've now just asked before I start channeling.
Okay, well, I can do that, but I'm just getting it. That was pretty much, I was getting Sanat Kumara.
I had the same.
Yeah.
I'm getting confused here.
Well, maybe you're getting Astraea. So it's
a combination. I think they're saying it's kind of a combination. Sometimes they'll speak through one, but there's others that are just there. So if you were to try to limit it to one being, that's not the way it is anyway. So they're kind of saying, don't get confused that it's Sanat Kumara, Astraea, and the Christ, and others that come in. They come and go.
Yeah.
One might speak, but others are so close that they would they don't want us to misinterpret that it's basically a group that's doing this.
Yeah, I just got when they agree to each other, sort of, to what's been said. So that's why I might think it's Astraea, because she was for me very present with this, like
right. And that's
and
how
so,
I think
the
individual channel goes to each one. So Astraea might be there reflected to you, but Sanat Kumara might be there reflected to me and David more, and then others might get the reflection of the Christ, because that's what they need. So the reflection will come through what you need and what is ready for you. Yeah, it's complicated, but we're not at that quite that level of how they're doing it. You know, it is kind of individualized. So if someone's listening to this, I think they might get an individual interpretation, and they'd like that to be, don't get your human mind around it, that, oh, that's just talking about just, listen and feel into your interpretation of it, because that's the important part, right?
Yeah.
That you get what you need from this individually at the level you're at. So there's no better level or higher level. It's just wherever you're at is where you're at. Work from there, because you can't start at any other level than where you're at.
Exactly. And you can, on every level, you can benefit from these channels. And definitely, totally agree to what you say.
So that's the interpretation I have, which is, don't really interpret it too much unless you individually get something, and we're individually saying things, which is good, but we want to let others let it flow through you. And maybe that's the introduction. Just take what we get as just a guideline, but what you get could be totally different, and that's okay. In your own understanding and growth that's needed, because you might bring something that's totally different, because we're different. We're all a little bit unique. We are unique. Source wants to experience that uniqueness, and it's fantastic. That's what I'm hearing. So
thank you.
It's really good.
I don't know, I just try to say what they say as I interpret it. So there's more, but you got anything for that, or anybody else?
No, you can continue.
Okay. I an kobe andai as akum a aikin I kando akan mai ando ispa kinan o ke tikan kumea shando ikan ma yando yakaba koye nan o mande an deando kokesa shiimba ko wambeyada yande ikando dohe ispa akando kesayan diman anu inakai isai shoum yantoke yanko akama iskambe kanya endo bukan desan shendai sikando humahan ano ikande moniakande indan anda askade umba hida umba ainga ikande kumba iande mokita iande komekata. That was high. I could sense that.
That was a lot. Things happening.
Yeah.
So I'm getting instructions during the call not to say a lot, but there may be another time to explain what's happening, at least what I sense and see. But it isn't the time today to discuss. It does relate to yesterday. It does relate to the end of mankind as it was, but they're not telling us that gate is closed. You're not talking about that till another time.
Okay. Good.
there were certain things happening in the internal planes which are related to that ending time.
So you're not saying more.
Seems like.
Okay.
I can blame Astraea.
I can share my story. It was beautiful.
Yeah.
So I got a ship, one of those wooden, like maybe Viking ships or something. And and so we were traveling overseas, and I was remembering Jackie, and I was remembering the time after the Younger Dryas, was it, when they traveled by ship to bring the knowledge to other countries. So we were traveling as a family on that ship and landing on sand on a different country, maybe Australia, whatever. I was thinking USA, and I was connecting it to you guys visiting us. But anyway, like that was, I guess, my head going in there trying to figure out what's happening. So and then we were bringing like the knowledge and the love, that's like the love, right? The new earth, right? So I was like this, that was like the war, you know how they, when they in all those war movies, they go like whatever, who and ha and ha and so this was
Love.
yeah. So I was like, why, what are we doing war for? No. So no, it was, we're spreading the knowledge. And then I was that's what we do with the YouTube videos and the school, like we're spreading it like that. So
Yeah.
because I was thinking that we don't need to go by ship anywhere, like that's not the time anymore. We have the internet, we can do it like over YouTube.
Right. Yeah.
So yeah, that's what I got. I was like, yeah, we were traveling ship.
And I was getting like, each person that listens to that channel will get a more of an individual interpretation of something. Like, so it's, I don't know how vast it is, but it's kind of like, it'd be interesting to hear people's, they want it to be that way. They don't want English, as we said, English doesn't, or any other language doesn't really do it justice. It doesn't do the light language if it's in its pure form, pure or firm, as Dave was saying, right? Just speak it and then interpret later. Just let it go. Don't interpret too much. If people are okay with that, in our human experience, we're not quite okay. We like stories. We like to hear stories, right? It's interesting to hear your interpretation. So it's nice to hear people's interpretation. Like if you had an interpretation.
Well, before you started, I just felt pressure in my head, and then it just sounded to me like it was male energy, really high energy, and it was, I don't know, it just affected me so much that it made me cry, and it brought up a lot of sadness, but it was almost a comforting message to me specifically, like very comforting, but I don't know.
It's okay.
I just feel really very sad but comforted.
Oh,
thank you.
I think you're going through some stuff and it's bringing up sadness. And yeah, they want you to feel love. Yeah. Nice.
But it was unlike any other one. It was very specific. At least it seemed that way to me, that it was just this very high male energy. So I don't know. It was Sananda to me, or
right, the Christ.
the Christ.
So that's what I'm getting is.
That's what I was thinking.
Yeah.
I would like to say something. As we are publishing these calls, I would actually like to address our viewers and encourage them to leave whatever they get for the channeling as either comments, or to reach out to us. We will do that. We will make that possible somehow, and share their interpretations or their messages.
Yeah, that's what I think it's meant
So
for.
yeah, I just wanted to say that. Yeah.
Very good.
So I saw in Greg's channeling, what I'm seeing is the Christ light being poured into Greg's heart.
Oh,
Yeah. Oh.
that's a lot of love.
Mm. Yeah, it's kind of overwhelming.
Uh-huh.
Oh, a little bit. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, it's scary sometimes, but yeah, we know that.
But they like it that we're getting it. This is kind of what they want us to get. Get this, as we're saying. These messages are more individualized or not. Everybody will get something, but it might be different. It's okay.
Yeah.
Don't think that you didn't get something because you didn't get what someone else got. Right? We know that.
Of course, yeah, sure. Everybody gets some. Everybody.
So if you feel you got something and go, oh, I don't know, I didn't get it. I didn't get what everybody else is getting. That's okay. Fine.
It's what you need.
It's what you need.
Yeah.
Yeah, it always
It may not be what you want, but it's what you need.
Yeah, exactly.
It's always what you want, but it's just what you need.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
That's a good point. Yeah, exactly. It might not be as obvious as it's for others. It's everyone experiences it different. So yeah, some see pictures, some feel more, some see colors, some whatever. Like it's always different. I mean, yeah, and that's important to know. Yeah, it's never wrong, and it's always what you need and what you can take and what you're able to handle. It's never, it's always good. It's always good.
True.
So I have some thinking, which I'm thinking to share. So I'm thinking, like, for instance, when I was channeling the Christ last week, and there's one procedure where I'm actually speaking out what he's telling me to do, and I'm using English. So it almost doesn't fit with what we're saying here about just channeling the light language. My sense is
it's different, with Greg,
my sense is like it's so important. Like what Greg's doing is profound, and it provides a channel. It's just purely light. And then people experience what they do. And later, we'll pick this to pieces. And people will reinterpret that language. Because I believe embedded within each piece of light language is a procedure. So open the higher heart chamber, everybody on the call, and then it continues, right? So we work through the chakras system, or we work through the higher mind, or we bring in the Christ energy, or the golden ray of light. And all that's occurring in the light language procedure, but we don't know the meaning until that's decoded. And I think what's happening with my channeling is they're actually allowing me to use English to explain what's happening in that process. To say, okay, so it is your heart chamber that string of light language is to open your higher heart and to bring in the blue light of Christ. So I think I'm being more specific and being used as a channel, like a version that explains in English what was just said.
Yeah, it's perfect. But someone is experiencing, might not get all that detail. They just kind of get something like a story, like Alinko's getting, it's like, oh, okay, I got all this. Okay, well, that is happening, but it's just you're interpreting as this story, this experience, this unwinding of yourself, and you just go with that. It's fine. If that's all you get, that's great. If you want to get the more interpretation that David might have, that's great too. If you're ready for
it's all good.
You might not be ready for that.
And it could be that he has an interpretation, but he's not allowed to share.
Well, that'll come, as we said, later. So
I might not be allowed to speak anymore.
Yeah, that could all happen.
In a week, who knows? They might shut down the channel.
Oh my God. I don't think so.
No.
I don't think so. No.
But it is peculiar, and we do it in different ways, and the methods are like both important. So some people like to know the language, what it means in English. They feel more secure and more grounded.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah.
I'm curious about knowing stuff.
I'm curious, but I'm also willing to just let it go and just be in the space. So I think you can do both, but I think there's a time for just being in the space and just letting it ride and don't be so curious until you kind of get your feelings around it, because you got feelings in your body, your heart space, and then you got interpretation in your mind. Well, most humans were too much in the mind, and then we want to get all that. But let it come into your heart, let it come into your body. Let that come first. I think that's important. If you can, if you have to jump to your head, well, okay, you can go there, but try to let it come in all ways, sensing, feeling, noticing, and interpreting if you need, or mind, connection. The higher mind is what we want to get you to, right? The higher heart, higher mind, higher consciousness, higher intelligence, divine intelligence. Yeah. That's all I'm getting. More? Yeah.
Sure.
Okay. Bian koya akande, boke asan akomai, duhum akambe, tohuma, tiingai, dango okandesh, shinma ato, deskande, bikan kokanda, umpa akan sekomayan, ishkan yanumai, tanko espakande es, shendo ekan boke anda, ikande homba ete, ikande atomakan sai, dehambe akam dehum ayan, kuma anda hando, iskan atai ando, dan komatsan se ando, ikando dai ishan ome.
I saw something very particular. I saw a serpent rise up out of me, and it was like being subdivided into smaller pieces, and I couldn't look away. It was just like, face the darkness and let it be light, and let it be light, and let it be light, and don't turn away from the shadow.
Yeah. I got loads of little pamphlets, maybe, like they came all through my mind. So I got the language now.
Yeah. Languages.
All right, languages. I got languages. And yeah, and then there was the lake of unconditional love in my monarch crystal, in my heart region, and with that what's it called, what do pirates look for?
Gold.
Yeah, the gold, the treasure, right? The treasure that I found once at the bottom of the lake is also there. And then there was blue goo and love and light, and
Blessings. Yeah.
Yeah.
What did you get? Yeah.
I got just Egypt, like I was in Egypt, but I was seeing it at its prime, like when it was very high energy and everything was beautiful and green, and just images of all the old Egypt. Very nice. Almost like wanting to bring that back. The energy, not how Egypt was, but the energy of all that. It's nice.
Yeah.
Powerful, very powerful.
That's beautiful.
Thank you.
So pretty.
I think that's connected. Sorry.
Well, that's just what I was like exploring. Like, because when you start talking about a timeline when Egypt is glorious and beautiful and incredible, I think, well, when was that? So I get like, well, it's 24,000 BC, which was heaven. And I think, well, what's happening there? Because there's some kind of reason that you're experiencing that. So I see then two timelines that connect. One is the 24,000 years in the future, which is heaven, and then the 24,000 years in the past, which is heaven. So, and I see them connecting today.
Oh, so we have.
And then
I didn't know the word for it. Like it was like template, but it wasn't that. So yeah, something connecting the future.
yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So so we're bringing in those energies together to a point. So in the absence of those other timelines of men, it's all been going on for the last 14,500 years, we can now produce this really beautiful energy. Start to bring it into Gozo, into Malta, into your hearts, you know. Yeah. We might not be able to bring it into everybody's heart, but then if you listen to the call, there's an access.
Yeah.
The heaven. And you can carry heaven.
Yeah, and
That sounds a bit serious.
And it's not.
Yeah.
I mean, carrying heaven, Christ energy is all about love. Just that feeling, heaven on earth.
I'm drinking your tea.
Then, you know, carrying that for everybody. So like we're just beginning this like for everybody. So it's to feel this first, it's quite a heavy endeavor.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I thought that what you saw with the snake, and then the look at the dark, and turn into light, was connected to what Sharon said.
Yeah.
Yeah, because there we worked through this. We talked about this a lot, the darkness in Egypt, and so yeah, I think that was like sort of the preceding or the timelines that we delete now, because of course we can only we had that we turn to the light when we go through the dark. So yeah.
So Sharon is the bringer of light.
Yes, of course. I mean, look at her.
What she said, chakra. I'm having trouble with my throat chakra now.
Oh, you're the bringer of light.
And we love you.
Yeah.
Oh, that's nice.
Yeah.
Dancing. Love it.
So the throat chakra is normally last.
Right. I was getting some of that. Still some going on. Opening through.
Always.
Yeah, you'd be drinking something. Wow.
Yeah, drink something. Take your time.
But I'll do my best from what I understand. They permit you to speak when you're ready. Like they want you to speak every day, like we're chatting and doing, but then there's a certain speaking when we're in this place where we can be divine light. So they always leave the throat chakra till the rest is resolved. And then the speaking is clear.
Yeah.
It's no wonder that that light, the throat begins to vibrate.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because you are embodying those two timelines, bringing divinity into earth.
That's a lot to hold, of course. Like, I mean, yeah.
And I shall hold the dark for you.
Yeah.
That's good.
Yeah, thank you.
So hold on tight and don't blow away.
Nope.
Oh. That must be. Yeah.
So,
Time
1880. Yeah.
to arise.
anything
What's that?
next?
Or Greg.
He always had.
I was just chatting about the Christ. He must be coming back. I mean, we're doing 24,000 BC and 24,000 years in the future, which are both heaven energies, and we're combining them together and putting them into people. I think it's about time he was making a show, you know?
Yeah. Bringing heaven on earth. That's what they talked about. It's, yeah, we're doing it. So that's, yeah, keep going. Anything else? We'll do some more. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Ish an okay an my akan okay itik akhokenai. Tumya kanya atan sokisan. Sinma aindo anke aktai. Dingan oketsai oshinan. Denma akan tokes andoese shano eka makanu. Yun e natan den ompeka kasaso. Shi an kumai de an kumia atansa. Sin an kunde ambonkan. Deskom meno ide ando huba. Ti kokitan kumia. Den o iskan yedoye. Hian om akan adi dehiman kumia hana ikandeho mayanda. It's building to a high level of light. What do you get? Anything? Yeah.
Just a series of all these images, but it was me just out there floating around like in the water and then up in the stars and back to Egypt and back to forward Egypt and just images of things. Just I think just to I'm not sure what it was about, but just places things.
Bringing them together. I think that's
like everywhere.
Everywhere, yeah.
It's places.
Like you're holographically mixing and matching the time from the future and the time from the past, taking the best from each and laying them into a new template for more for like individuals, like how they could live and be as the Christ. So you're actually producing that somehow by taking bits from the past and bits from the present and the best of each.
That's a lot of work.
And the land too, something to do with the land, the waters, the heaven.
Yeah, we were doing something there yesterday. The procedure was when it started, it was Sanat Kumara coming down telling me to put the wind, because it was so windy, like it was to spread the love and the voodoo like all over, because of course it can transport it. So it was like we sort of put that in there, and then the wind just took it all, and there was something with the waters as well. Then when you started speaking.
Yes, today.
Yesterday
Okay.
on the hill. Yeah. There was something with the waters. Then.
I don't know what it was.
Winds of change. You ever hear that phrase?
Yeah.
That's
the winds of change.
That's that.
Yeah.
The winds have changed. The waters have changed. So so there is something for the world. It's not during this call, but there is a preparation. I'm being a bit mysterious, but I don't know if I'm allowed to discuss it.
Sorry.
Well, I heard it was supposed to be the mystery school, so it's all right to be mysterious.
To be mysterious.
And someone else might know, like, and have the words and have the permission to say them.
Mhm.
Hmm.
Yeah,
It is a mystery school.
it's we are opening up old mysteries, and divinity,
Hmm.
alchemy.
So I saw the Christ in the Himalayas, and I
Hmm.
was told to just be lowly to him, like a tiny acorn beneath his feet, and not to grow up too fast, and just to wait and be patient and be within his love, and not to look away from the bright lights, but not to be like trying to be too much with any of it.
It's always good.
Yeah, right. Because you can overwhelm yourself. The human vessel can get overwhelmed with too much light, too much love, but it's good. We want to have it. We want to fill with it. Yeah. Yeah. But it takes time. It's okay. I'm getting. So anything else? More channeling, or we'll keep going? I don't know even what time it is. We'll keep going.
It's 12:25.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Next part. Ikan ome atan geo. Ikant e enman se ando o makaya. Deno makas ando pakadya. Dikando honda. Kiande askpa atom. I she de moke. Ande as apako sohai. Haino enya anta. Tikando. Doha ayan. Senon meka. Si andohia. Behangeno. Iante aspeke opakanya. Is an hum dahande. Dahanke kunda an kumeyan. Jende gunya ande. Ikande kosheman. Yanto hando makiskando bayan. Behedohom anu bekas. Shombai. Bihanai.
Ah, pretty heavy today. Christ is like, hello, everybody. We are going along at quite a pace.
Yeah.
Do with Greg's channeling. It's like he's informing them of like the procedure. It's like we need to step this up a gear and get it moving and have all of Sharon's light coming through her, and we can't hang back anymore. It's like, okay, enough delays.
Right.
I don't know.
I thought we're doing good.
Well, he's just being straight to the point.
Straight.
Yeah. We're doing good, but there's just, they'll move you up if you're ready to move up. And if you're not quite ready, well, you might move up anyway. Okay, well, you're gonna
always permissions.
Yes.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah, you gotta.
Some people elect not to continue.
Yes, we know that. We've met them. They're.
And that's okay. It's all right.
And now we turn up a gear because there's no need for us to delay.
No delay.
So Christ would like us to know, congratulations, you're doing really well. Like, we're turning up the light. That's all you need to know. So he's really happy, and they're all really great and pleased on the light beings on the other side that is having a great life. And they're really glad that we're performing these rituals, like, and taking our time to learn the words and just being with the energies. That's all that's required. Just be with the energies. It's profound, it's beautiful, you're fabulous and wonderful.
Hmm.
Hmm.
I was getting showered with this golden rain and then just a warm blanket. It was just really comforting being filled. Yay.
And I was buried, like there's a part of me that, like, I thought I was thinking my ego, something like that, like some human thing in the way. And
Mind.
being, yeah, buried in my mona, like, it was all peaceful, right? I mean, just me, like, sort of lying there in a, yeah, whatever, wrapped in a cloth, being in my, yeah, so, and then it was just light.
Mm,
That was about it.
nice.
They're wrapping us in light.
That's all you need. That. Mhm.
And then the mind dissolves itself
Mm.
back into light. Yeah, we did talk about the ego the other day. I think I talked about the ego when the Christ was like preparing it in a pyramid and keeping it safe and loving it and telling us when to use it. And it's not just the ego, it's like the mind, you know, there's a whole sphere that's mental activity. And I think when they say ego, they don't just mean how we think of ego, like negatively. I think it's all the divine knowledge, like that's held within the divine mind.
Mm-hmm.
But sometimes the egoic mind, like as we think about it as a human, that can be destructive and gets in the way. So
Yeah, that was very.
so they're just preparing for something, for some divine light to come through that part of the mind. Like a repairing procedure.
Yeah.
Not that we need repairing, but it sometimes helps to be in a bit more divine light.
Yeah. Yeah.
I think.
Did you have anything, Greg?
Well, yeah, I think we're upgrading our physical bodies to handle the light, so that they have to work on different parts of each of us to tune us. So I know I get tuned to this channel, and then the light comes through, and then things release in different areas of my body that I know are still ready to release, because I've been working on them and I want them to release, but they're just not quite ready. But then they are, and then things release.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So
it can take weeks or months.
what's that?
It can take weeks or months or even years sometimes. But it has a sequence to it. So the light comes in, it helps you heal. Sometimes it takes time. Sometimes the light doesn't instantly heal that point because it needs that point first, and that one needs that one, and that hasn't been done, you know, so it sort of fills up and then it goes pop.
Yeah, and then you have to be on board and then be able to interpret and understand that to a certain level in order for things to release, right? You got to have a certain understanding around it, certain vibration. It's a lot, but it's also just divine timing. Everybody's on ascending path, or not everybody, but wherever they are, meaning we are doing what we do as a group, synchronizing, aligning, and bringing this through to help humanity and ourselves, because we're getting a lot out of it.
Remember, we used to talk about in the order of how things released, and it was like for something to release, you had to release these other maybe smaller things first, or it always seemed like there was like an order to it somehow, even though it didn't seem very orderly.
Right, we try to figure out the order,
but you can't really. You just have to go with it. That's again my mind trying to figure it out.
Yeah,
you let that go. Just what is.
Yeah. Yeah, I find it easy to just let it go. Yeah.
There is some kind of order to it, and we don't know it, but we are curious. Like we would like to understand.
That's why I asked a lot of questions. Well, why is this now? Why is that? Why did that? I wanted to know.
Then we can teach.
Yeah. Yeah. If you get the higher knowledge, then you can know this is the order. You're getting that. These are the things. They're giving you information. They give me some, Sharon some, Lenka some. Yeah, we all get. We're all playing our roles, our parts in this. And you don't have to stay in your lane per se, but you have a lane that you're in. That's a good place. Just be there, but then you can be curious about others, right? What's going on? But you might not be able to do what they're doing. It's okay. You're just allowing it to come through you the way it's supposed to, the way that feels right.
Yeah.
Like I do this and David does that, and you do your thing, and we're all kind of doing our thing, right? It makes it's comes all together in a unified mix, like a cake mix. We got to have cakes. You got to have the mix. We got to mix it all up.
There was cake again.
I knew you'd get that. That's what I said.
There was cake again somewhere. Yeah.
There was cake.
I figured.
We went for Indian food and like there was no dessert I fancied, but they said like we have a selection of cakes. Ask your server. Okay.
What?
Yes. What cake do you want today?
Yeah. Now we found a beautiful restaurant for cake, so I won't talk about cake.
Wow.
But there is a divine template for Christhood. So like I find it really uncomfortable using these terms because people will think, what the fucking hell is he talking about? You can't be Christhood, but Greg's being gifted a Christhood template. That's what you're feeling, right? So we're talking about, in my sense, all of that, my body's changing, like the preparation for Christhood. So you've got to get all these other pieces in place. You've got to get your mindset in the right place. Your heart's got to be located here and there, and this is going to, and then we can give you this template.
Yeah.
So the Christ light in the heart is located in the right place. The heart is now centered, and we can get the mind right. Like the Buddhic example of thinking straight and being truthful and being honest and being nurturing and kind to people. And once that's right and the heart's Christ-lit, then we can give you a Christ-like template.
Wow.
And then you, in the specific words they would like me to use, is then you can light up the world around you. And they give you divine light, but not until the mindset is clear and the heart is in gear.
Yeah.
And then the voice starts to sing, but not before. Shit. That's a good call.
Yeah, I think that's it for today.
Very
That's
good.
good.
It's really good.
Yeah.
We should do tomorrow.
Sure.
Yeah.
Okay.
5 or 6. So 11 or 12 your time. What's better?
Either one. Let's see your sense.
I'll be painting tomorrow, so either one for me because I'll take a break.
Yeah, well, I guess I'll be painting too.
Well, you can if you want, but that's what I'm doing.
I guess I will be.
We can be artistic about it.
I just want to get her done.
Yeah, I guess
She's painting her shed.
12 o'clock.
We'll have to take a picture. We'll send you a video of that.